All right, it's another beautiful day. Let's see what we can get done today. I'm going to start with trying to determine where to cut the rest of the car. Probably just going to start sectioning off panels. So by sectioning, I mean this is a section, this whole half of the car. And then the firewall is a section. The quarter panel will be a section. And now the roof. In order to get all of the other panels off, other than the quarter panel, I'll need to get off the roof. So today I'm going to get the roof off. And it's important to do this very carefully because I can assume that lining up the 6 points on the roof is going to be very difficult. Before I even start that, I need to empty out the car. Another little thing you can do to make it easier when you're putting the car back together. For example, this is the automatic seatbelt motor thing. And I don't plan on putting it back in the car. This is the plug for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write the letter X on the plug. Just like this. That way I know, don't worry about this plug. Otherwise you'll be like, oh my gosh, what does this plug into? Did I forget something? But, you know, it just makes it easier. All right, we've cleared out the spot in the middle. And this is a much better workspace. But something I must have overlooked is how damaged the trans tunnel is. So I guess I'm gonna have to add a trans tunnel to the parts list. But for now, first thing I do is try and determine how it was constructed originally. That way we can go backwards by taking it apart. On this side, it's all one piece because when they put these cars together, this is all one piece. It even overlaps all the way to here. We're gonna have to make a thin cut on the outside. I think for the inside of the B-pillar, I'm going to drill out these spot welds. So just to get a better idea, looking at this side, it's kind of hard to tell, you know, what's going on inside. But the other side is already off. So yeah, looks like drilling out these few spot welds here will actually be a great idea. Looking at the half cut, I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but this is kind of how spot welds look on here. And then that's it. It's so crazy to see like how thin this metal is. So on this side of the car, it doesn't really matter where we cut it because, I mean, this whole side of the car is getting replaced anyways. So just probably finish this cut line off here. So this is where I punched through on the other side, here and here. So what I want to do is along this seam here, I want to draw a line from the midpoint of these two dots across to the midpoint of these two dots. And then I'm going to use the cutoff wheel just to cut this panel on the outside. So for the C-pillar, I think what I'm going to do is follow these spot welds here. That way I'll be able to leave, you know, this much C-pillar, and if I need to cut back more, I can always do that later. So I think that's a good place to start for now. All right, so we've got this piece freed up. As for the A-pillar, Right about here is going to be probably the most ideal spot to drill the spot welds out, but for the sake of time I'm just going to cut it right here. Alright, we got the whole right side of the car cut, and it's already doing its thing. Let's see how loose it is. Oh. Alright, now that we have the straight side cut, I'm going to start chopping up the smash side. And for the C-pillar, probably going to cut it in the same spot up there. It's probably along this seam. It does look a little bent here. Kind of see that little crease right there. So I may end up having to eventually cut this one all the way back. I'll need to get the roof cut off of that spare shell and then brought here before I even think about lining all that up. Right now the goal is just to start sectioning off all the damaged pieces and then making sure that I have every piece needed to put the puzzle back together. I think we've made a good dent. Let's reevaluate our to-do list and check off some things that we've done. We got the half cut prepped. We've got the firewall spot welds, frame rail spot welds. We also determined the cut lines for the roof. I need to add the trans tunnel to the parts. We know that the trans tunnel is the center of the car, and the firewall is going to attach to it, as well as the other whole left side of the car that needs to attach to the trans tunnel. So with that being said, I need to find a trans tunnel because there's no way I can start attaching these other parts to the car if the trans tunnel is bent. But luckily Omar still has that spare shell, and he said I could come grab it off of that car. So I'm heading there right now and we're gonna start chopping it up. And we are back at Omar's house, and now we're going to pick up a trans tunnel. This one looks much straighter than mine. I think while I'm at it, I'm going to take this whole brace. That'll really help ensure that the car has the correct width, since it connects from one rocker to the other rocker. But unfortunately this car is rotted out. So I'm hoping that the trans tunnel is not rotted. Let's take a look. Doesn't look too bad. Frame rails are gone. But that's okay, we don't need those. This thing is rotted. ready. She's free. I do have to take off these e-brake cables still. So sketchy. Thanks, Omar. Sweet. Oh my gosh. We should put the jack stands on the frame rails just to see what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
Frame rail test.
She's holding.
She's holding. Oh my god.
Nice.
I just want to give a big shout out to Omar. He gave me that trans tunnel for free. Now I need to figure out how I'm going to move that trans tunnel to where the 240 is. I don't know if it's gonna fit in the Integra this time. We'll see. My brother Nate has a Nissan Skyline and it's due for timing belt and water pump service. So let's go knock that out.